SK's support player. Not to dip a little bit deeper into his pool this time around. The Rek'Sai is also banned away. Ryze is taken off the board against Chachi, who's had some mixed success on that champion.
I want to see some pressure on Shen. Definitely good performances by Freddy on that champion so far. Freddy, when you let him split push on his own, provide him with a decent baseline of vision, give enough farm to him and let him split push with his beefy type of champions like Shen, he actually has a lot of impact in the game. Where able to put Shyvana too, and he was really good at controlling that side of the map, and then opens up SK to play at the other side very easily. SK now up for the Morgana.
He was one of the first really to bring those back. The Shen, I think, is definitely no-brainer here unless the Unicorns decide to take it away. It's still sitting available with the Morgana ban, the Sivir ban. We'll probably be seeing more potentially those Kallistas now. The Gragas is banned away. This dips the jungle pool back a little bit, but we've been seeing some comfort. Julius going back. Okay, Lee Sin now. That's a first pickup.
That's a statement for Unicorns to say, okay, first game on stage here. Traditionally, Lee Sin isn't as prioritized. Obviously, with jungle bans in here, say, okay, Julius, we'll sacrifice our first picks just so you feel comfortable. Make some plays. You see, it's different doing it at home. Or right here, it's a lot different on stage. But this gives that Shen, that coveted Shen pick to SK Gaming, and they're hovering right now, Corki. Next in line, traditionally.
Next in line, indeed. Definitely thinking about if they want to take this right away. Make quite a lot of sense for them, and they will lock it in. Props Unicorns going back the next. Let's see, now that they've got their jungle all figured out, where do they go from here? We've got Thresh Kallista available. We've seen Kallista, even despite the nerfs, be used to great success so far today. Will Unicorns take that and replicate it?
Candy Panda usually went for that. Kallista got ahead very far in the early starts of the season. I still remember distinctly a 5-0 or 2-0 Kallista, but he never could capitalize on that lead. Says, okay, I'm rather play for the mid game. I want to siege once Shen is split pushing. Want the earlier spike on the map. Perhaps the nerfs are too much. And Vardax doesn't strike me as a carry Kallista player either. So I wonder what he's going to end up picking.
He does like this Jinx, but we have seen it fall flat on a couple occasions. It's bold, but it's not like it's without some protection. This Lee Sin should be mobile enough. Small shield provided from that safeguard as well. I think we might be seeing a lot of attention paid to the bot side, unless SK don't necessarily have an extremely strong support to back up this Corki.
We'll have to see if Freddy can survive that one-on-one matchup against the Rumble. In my head, that plays out in the Rumble's favor. Obviously, I still have to see it. Once Shen picks up magic resistance, he's fine, but in the early levels, I feel like Rumble could bully that lane with the Flame Spitter, and later in the fight, Taunt Flash is what we'll have to watch out for, and Unicorns can't rely on that coveted Morgana pick that Hylissang plays very often. So he might actually have to go for a Janna or an Alistar to provide sufficient peel. SK can steal that away right here though, but they're setting up for quite some poke here. Nidalee hover.
Yeah, and Svenskeren, one of the Nidalee proponents here in Europe. It hasn't been seen as much for a little bit, but now with the changes coming in, we've got that locked. We've got a Gnar though, which means
bait and switch. Bait and switch by SK Gaming and Rated, saying, hey, I watched people play Shen support. It is pretty strong. I want to pick it up. SK, however, have to reveal it early, and the Unicorns were waiting for that. They were waiting for that pick to be revealed. Now they can answer with what they want. Interesting lineup for SK so far. Triple poke, in a sense, if you can call Gnar poke, but they have good zone control around objectives. They have the hard engage from the Shen Flash Taunt to get to that Jinx.
They can definitely wombo combo up between those two, and solid mid game from that Corki damage. We'll see what they round it out with. But for Unicorns, right now, if the hovers end up being what they go for here, I've not really been incredibly impressed with Power of Evil's Orianna. Yeah, I think it makes more sense to switch it out. You can already see that summoner spell on Power. I think in the next couple seconds, we're going to find out. Looks like we will be in for another good old game of Runeglaive Ezreal.
Yeah, Ezreal in the mid lane, giving a poke component to that UL lineup. Usually, though, when we see the Unicorns play poke, it is Power of Evil has that pick in mind, and they build a fortress around him. The one time they did not do that was with AP Kog'Maw, and they fell flat. They didn't have the defensive tools. Vardax ended up needing peel on those AD carries, didn't get it, and Unicorns crumbled. However, Ezreal as a champion fends for himself a little better than AP Kog'Maw. In this case says we choose poke. Unicorns say we will match that in the mid lane at least. For some hard engage. A little mix and match composition though for the Unicorns. It doesn't really spell out a single strategy. It's a combination of many things. I want to see if that actually works out. I feel like SK Gaming had a bigger, broad plan in mind, this Jace pick is not a surprise to them. They could start this pick and ban process because they knew both Jace and Varus were open. The one risk they have is running heavy on 80 damage, but that's why they have a magic damage jungler in the Nidalee.
And some mixed damage available from the Corki as well.
Then
It gives them a nice balance.
And then they put the tank component on their support. This is a very well-rounded composition on SK Gaming. The only thing that you could argue is counter engage is rough, so they'll need to play well around their Gnar bar, get his Mega Gnar form out, the counter engage and the peel. But if you look at both drafts from an outside point of view, SK seem to be better prepared, and Unicorns looking at those comfort picks more so. So they'll need a snowball. The man to watch definitely is Vardax, because Power of Evil is going to yield some pressure early. Chachi, interested to see how that matchup plays out. I feel Gnar will bully out the Rumble.
Yeah. And if that's the case, though, the Unicorns are expecting it. Do you expect them maybe to try to go for the lane swap? They will give up Dragon Pressure if they do that, among other things.
Lane swap could be viable, for sure. Lane swapping in general is good when you play with a Rumble overall, and a Jinx can take the tower down very quickly and avoid the gnarly early phase. Definitely an option for the Unicorns.
The Gnar also should function fairly effectively well in the lane swap situation, as long as he doesn't get himself caught too far up, so we'll have to see.
Definitely, but he wants to get a little beefy at least. He wants to get stronger, but we'll see about that later.
For now, though, guys, that is all for the picks and bans. The team comps are locked in, so why don't you at home tell us who you think is going to walk away with a win here. Will it be the Unicorns? If so, hashtag UOL win. If SK can make their climb back up out of relegation territory, tweet a hashtag SK win. As this game gets underway, we'll find out who's going to win as we load up onto the Rift. SK Gaming taking on the Unicorns of Love.
Now, if these standard lanes happen, I wonder where the push advantage will be. I haven't seen too much of Shen's support in the early laning phase. 2v2, how it plays out. The biggest component of why it's strong is because you want to dash in aggressively and then have that taunt connect to the AD carry, force him to trade on the support. Generally, when you trade in bot lane, if you can trade on the AD carry and force him to hit your support, you're obviously winning. That support's coming into lane with many more potions than AD carries do.
Taking a lot of time waiting around to try and sniff anything out with the line of scrimmage opening. If they do want to go for a swap, that's going to have to happen quickly, but it looks like at this point it's not going to happen.
Now, traditionally, when you face a team with a new member, swapping is obviously in your advantage because he is not used to those routines. He's not used to playing lane swaps on the stage. Gilius has some experience, previously in Gamers 2, of course, in the Challenger scene, so he's no stranger to swaps. SK traditionally haven't had the best lane swap either, and they do play well when Freddy himself gets ahead on that single lane. So it looks like standard lane so far, Pyra.
One differentiating thing, Chachi going very far forward. He definitely is a man that plays without a whole lot of fear, to be honest, but it could be dangerous for him if Svenskeren sticks around on this top side. He does place the ward in his own river brush. Let's take a look back to when these guys met, though, because it was a win for SK. It was a very different time for the Unicorns. They were still very struggling to find their way in the summer split. And as a result, you could see how close it was. It was actually lower gold, lower kills, but SK were still able to come out ahead at the end of the day.
Choosing to take the small golem down first, opting to save more HP on their side. Right now we see the other bot lane of SK Gaming taking the Grump. On that respective side, in terms of leashes, what ended up happening was Freddy leashed for top side, so he's a little weaker in his lane in terms of presence. Fox was first to lane in mid, so he could have the push advantage there.
Now the bottom laners will meet each other there. Quick level 2, it's Candy Panda and N-Rated push themselves forward. Bardex and Hellsing will have to be a little bit careful, even on this Jinx Thresh lane. N-Rated, he hits level 2, goes in, gets the taunt, onto Hilly. There's going to be the Frost Bomb. Still some damage as they have the vision, but N-Rated tanks a little bit of it as well. Lots of poke, got to be careful not to give an early kill over to the Jinx.
Decent trade on both sides. N-Rated tried to zone level 1. Feel URL could have disrespected that zone a little more, but they said, okay, it's fine, just push us in, we'll farm on the tower. We have the scaling carry, the hyper carry on Jinx. We don't want to get Vardax behind. Now they are in a position where they're honestly safe under their tower. It's actually a trend we see a lot more. Teams like to just get pushed in and just farm on the tower as these support AD carry synergies are getting better. You're playing into a melee range champion, Shen, so he can't bully you on their tower either. However, that then again turns into SK's favor. They like playing like this. They like pushing all lanes because this allows Fenskuren, the jungler, to invade the enemy jungler, get vision. And either he sees the camps empty, that he knows Julius is on the left side, or he finds camps up and then he knows, okay, Julius is still coming this way. Right now it's clear to Fenskuren that he should tell his top laner, hey, Gilius started bot side, he might be top side, be careful.
Looks like the word came a little bit too late. Freddy nowhere near on the Narbot, gets his hop, gets his flash, not connecting the Sonic Wave. That's gonna save his life. Close call for the Gnar.
Couple nice plays there. Chachi opening with the flash E on the Rumble was good because that immediately slows Freddy and it forces him to still be slowed after he flashes. This could have been a follow-up kill, but good juke then in turn by Freddy. So good mechanical plays on both sides. Gilius missing his first Q on champion of the game. Hopefully he doesn't get into his head. Svenskeren though.
Underestimate the power of tilt. Svenskeren throws the spear, dodged out by Gilius, trying to provide some counter pressure. This is textbook Svenskeren. He wants to get counter pressure all around the map. If he can find and get a kill, he will. But with the help of Vizicachi, Gilius is able to secure the blue buff for himself. Starting this one off. And Hylissang going a little low in the bottom. Gets out though.
Ignite used on the side of SK Gaming, and this is showing why they value that Shen pick in the support, even though Freddy did well with it. Traditionally, Raider seems to have practiced champion Vardax.
Yep, there's the taunt. No one built escapes for the Jinx without the support there. It's going to be a little difficult for him to be able to trade for just a moment. So he gets some return damage on N-Rated, but all the same, SK Gaming doing well to start this game off.
Now SK Gaming are low in the standings, but that doesn't mean they've had a poor early and mid game. This is what they like to do, triple push. Push in mid with Fox and Jason. Gilius looking to stop that right now. Gate is used, so can't speed himself up.
And Power of Evil still pushing the poke. Another missed connection, but Gilius is going to flash for it anyways. In comes Sven to turn it right around. Gilius knocked back, and Svenskeren will finish him off. First blood, the spear connects. Svenskeren thinks about going under tower, but he won't.
His body is telling him yes. Good move, honestly,
listen to his mind.
by Fox. It's a bold move to juke that Q, because if it connects, you're very likely to be dead. And it's very hard to judge whether that was going to connect. Good sidestep here, and pressure on Power of Evil, and Gilius is not having the start that he was looking for. 2 Qs juked in a row. Power of Evil has to yield that turret early.
And some
SK Gaming play textbook SK style. Push all lanes, counter jungle, find the jungler, and then predict his movements and counter gank him.
This is something that Svenskeren has a lot of experience in doing. Gilius is definitely having a hard time living within his own jungle. He will grab himself some Gromp, but for now, Sven is still waiting on the backside, on the outside here. He's going to go ahead back to base just to finish up his jungling item, but the pressure is on the side of SK Gaming. They've got themselves a 1,000 gold lead, and it's only 6 minutes into the game.
And we're seeing N-Rated move out of his lane and roam and put pressure on the map too. This is traditionally not something we're quite used to from him, so that's also a good move. Candy Panda confident in his trading ability, so he picks up the Sheen early. There's 2 ways you can play Corki Phage for the extended trades, you know, get that movement speed whenever you auto attack, or short trades, short burst, Phosphorus Bomb, auto attack, proc out. Beat that Jinx, who has to stack up minigun over time unless you land Zap.
That's somebody that SK have to keep their eyes on. Vardags, if he gets himself rolling a couple of kills or just eventually hitting those item spikes, it will be very dangerous for SK, but deny a Jinx, shut a Jinx down, and there's not much he can really do. Vardags and Hilly getting a wave pushed right in their direction, but they have to respect that taunt potential from N-Rated.
And this is why they play under their Tara, obviously. N-Rated can't taunt in because he'll meet the flay and the hook. He'll have to use his flash defensively, but the pressure is on the side of SK. N-Rated can leave this lane whenever he wants and leave Candy Panda safe because the wave will bounce back. He can't be denied too much CS. UL can't freeze. This means that SK can move their vision forward. I'm a big fan of that ward in the Dragon Pick, but they just want to find out where Julius is. They don't want him to jump over the wall and do the sneaky dragon. And if they find out roughly where he is, they can keep pushing, 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 and allow Svenskeren to dictate the pace of this game.
Really has been the difference between the junglers so far. Gilius makes his way down towards the bottom side. However, he is on a collision course for Svenskeren as he goes to start off his red buff. This could end in disaster. Dodges the spear. Sven, however, has him on the run for now. It's a tense moment, but N-Rated is coming in for backup. No help is coming for the Unicorns jungler.
This is why whoever has the pushing lanes has a jungle advantage, because your blades can always move first. Good move by Candy Panda and N-Rated, and they're not losing anything, because if ULs choose to push up, they expose them to a potential flank.
This is exactly what's happening. In comes the Valk, stopped for just a moment. The taunt is avoided, but Hilly is still going down. Vardags lands the traps, lands the zap, but helps too late in coming. And now the Jace is on the chase. Fox to the skies, and he takes down Vardags.
Some fancy footwork from Vardags, flashes in the wrong direction in the end. Fox comes in. Again, because Fox is pushing mid, he can move first to bottom. So SK are moving their chess pieces around the board, leaving Unicorns of Love trapped. Checkmate. Eventually, you lose your members then.
Just a little bit of damage on that mid tower. Power of Evil, not the greatest trade when you lose those 2 members on the bottom side. SK continuing to hold the pressure. The lead they have built has extended to 2,000 gold. Svenskeren, however, does the smart thing, throws the spear into the suspicious brush.
Good read by Sven. He knows if you play action around bottom right side, that leaves your top left side exposed. Always mirror map place. However, Freddy,
he's going in.
Chachi.
Flashed away, and Freddy wasn't really aware of it at the time. Sven is going to be able to back him up, however, leaps on and takes down the Rumble. Another kill.
Freddy with the illustrious Confusion Rock. Throws it backwards. Chachi stops. Why? Suddenly, Svenskeren jumps out of the shadow, says, hello. Fusion Rock, best rock.
Definitely worked out that time. Sven has been a part of every one of the kills on the map so far. We're not even 10 minutes in. The pressure he has exerted cannot be understated. SK Gaming, they look to be setting up to catch Hylissang in this pincer, and he realizes his doom a little too late, walks into the shock blast, and the taunt gets the box down, but he won't save his life. And that's about it for the support player.
Good roam again by Unrated, and he's opening up his playstyle. Traditionally, when he played with Forgiven, he was always tied like glue to Forgiven. Right now, he's getting the liberty to roam around, and this is a pick. Corki facilitates that. Corki actually doesn't need a support in his lane because he can just farm those waves with the rockets, with the range. Well, he has an advantage, and you said it right there. Svenskeren, when he gets this style, he's one of the best junglers in Europe at capitalizing on that. So the aggressive push lanes and find the enemy jungler controlled. Reminds me a bit of Move and Rush over in North America. The one issue I have with it is if SK doesn't play this style, if you can push them back early, Svenskeren seems a little lost sometimes. Fox?
It's not a problem for them just yet. In comes the stand United. Svenskeren looks to pick on Gilius, but Vizicachi came in on the back of it. Fox will knock Gilius, but he gets kicked back. The right rocket hits him in the face. It's a 1-for-1, but the skirmish is on, and Svenskeren going a little low. True shot barrage. Candy is gonna flash right in front of it.
Luckily for Candy Panda, you can't get hit by two shot barrage twice. Otherwise, that would have been
that would work. Physics doesn't allow it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, though, Unicorns have a chance here to push in the middle. They should be able to take this turret down. They may even be able to rush down the Dragon. Svenskeren a little bit low. Let's see what they decide to go for. Getting excited is Vardags here. And they'll just keep on going.
Yeah, Freddy used that teleport, presumably to get back to lane. Unicorns of Love use the teleport advantage. Simply walk down. Chachi as his teleport is on a longer cooldown. Down to the mid, and they find an opening, and this is what they needed to stop the bleeding, but they're still a significant amount of gold behind. Yes, they got those fancy kills and flashes, but Freddy took a tower in the top lane, so that was traded. Gold lead's still very, very big on the Unicorns, or on SK side rather.
And the Dragon might have to wait for another day too. SK collapsing around, throwing some muscle in their direction. Unicorns will scatter away, and a shock blast sends Gilius and Vizicachi reeling for a second. Dragon could be started by SK at this point, as Freddy is still pushing uncontested in the top.
SK Gaming here to make a statement. We want to get into playoffs. We don't want to be in relegation. Coming out fierce, and this is the progress we were looking at the past few weeks already, but they just kept having these.
Going on. Svenskeren, he didn't get the jump.
No energy on Gilius though.
There we go, he's out of it. He gets kicked back, so close to taking him down, courtesy of the Rune Glaive, and Fox will manage to finish the job. Power of Evil gets away from the spear. The rocket connects on Sven's back, but it doesn't finish the job.
Yes, Svenskeren, he was losing that duel, but then he checked over. Gilius, no more energy. Easily turned that around. Fox came in. SK's playing well together, in unison. Good synergy here.
Millie, though, is looking to make a pick onto Candy Panda. The hook goes completely the wrong direction as he predicted incorrectly where he was going to go. Now, overextending just a little bit. Freddy has his Gnar bar all the way, almost gets the hit, but he gets the big Gnar onto Vardags, and Svenskeren secures the kill. They might be looking towards the bottom tower now, Crepo.
Just because there is a lantern doesn't mean you have to click it. Vardex learned that the hard way. SK taking another tower right here. Opening up the map, and every week we go on, SK is getting better and better. They still have to learn how to close. But definitely early game, very, very impressive. To be 5,000 gold up against the Unicorns, who are ahead in the standings of SK Gaming, is an impressive feat.
Absolutely. And it is just the right timing for them towards the end of this split. If they want to have a shot at continuing to move forward. Remember, they're still sitting on some championship points from the 4th place finish back in spring. They could very well do it. Now, Gilius trying for some counter jungling, but Sven is going to find him and take him down. He doesn't even need the red buff. He goes ahead and gives that one over to Fox.
Yeah, counter jungle attempt thwarted by SK Gaming. Look at the vision they have in the bottom side of the map as well. They don't even need to see their own jungle, because by process of elimination they can find out where Gilius is. If he's not in the top right jungle because we just walked there, if he's not in the bottom right jungle because we have wards there, he must be on the left side. Hylissang though.
Freddy is ignited. Freddy is in trouble, but he's got a Shen at his back. He's gone Mega Gnar. The tables are turning. Unicorns bit off way more than they could chew, and the equalizer won't do enough. The rock, Sven scared, pulled in. There's the flay, taken down. No tower to fall back to. SK Gaming keep on rolling.
And rated with an impressive performance, honestly, delivering on the support Shen. We said Freddy's Shen was phenomenal so far, but they opt to pick it away. Bait Unicorns in, donated to and rated. Say Freddy, you can still play other champions on that Gnar. 005 delivering as well. Overall, fantastic play by SK so far.
So far, so good. You know, we're 15 minutes into this game right now. The lead is incredibly significant. A dragon, damage from Fox. Another tower taken down. Now they're sitting on about 8,000 ahead, or a little less than 8,000 ahead, I should say. It's still, it's getting pretty hard for Unicorns to handle.
And this is the problem if you pick 3 losing lanes against an aggressive jungler like Svenskeren. Will abuse that, allow those lanes to snowball. And we've seen this in the past from the Unicorns, where they say, okay, mid-game we have this beautiful composition, but getting there is our problem. Yet again, they pick Poke scaling for Power of Evil. He is sitting back in his lane, no offensiveness, no like foresight, just playing back. Vardex is playing his Jinx. Back in spring, yes, Hylissang and Vardex were so good at laning phase that they could start getting 1 or 2 kills in the lane, but that's no longer the case. These teams are leveling up. Dying bot lane 2v2 just simply doesn't happen anymore. The game has evolved past that stage.
And for the Unicorns too, I mean, their mid-game fight, a lot of it is hinging on Chachi being relevant, on Vardex being able to get ahead. Neither of those things have happened. Power of Evil has a fantastic late game in this room with Ezreal. We've all seen Pepinero go absolutely crazy on this, but the rate this game is going, they may not make it that long.
Definitely won't. And honestly, Fox and Jace, been impressive. Going back all the way to minute 2, that was leashes. Fox did not leash, so he got the immediate push in the mid lane. Freddy leashed, but he can still outpush the Rumble. Whereas Unicorns, they opted to let Power of Evil help his jungler, Gilius, to get him into the game. He lost the mid lane push, and then, yeah, in turn, Svenskeren invaded. Look at the Shock Blast right now. This is what you're up against. Shock Blast, Rocket Poke, Taunt Flash, Nidalee Spears.
And it's scaling Nidalee too. I mean, we're seeing the Diamond Procs build. Now that it's on 513, the Rod of Ages, with that scaling that it's had increased a little bit, even if its base stats aren't quite so good.
Better offense, worse defense, but Svenskeren's fine with that because all he needs is offense.
And he keeps taking jungle camps away.
This game, offense is the best defense for him.
He might get caught for just a second, going a little far forward. Gonna leap over the wall. Freddy's there. For the defense, the spear is going to connect. The reinforcements have arrived, and Chachi is going down. Fox is hooked in. True Shot Barrage comes in. The rockets are flying. Unicorns are firing the heavy artillery, but it's just not enough as the double kill comes in for Fox. Gilius tries to make the outplay. Will be able to finish off Svenskeren. It's going to be a 1 for 3, though. Uh-oh. 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 Goodbye. Fox with another.
And this has been the name of the game, and so close. Vardex with another rocket connecting, but 5% for Svenskeren earlier, 3% for Svenskeren. And every time SK fight, their backup arrives first. A full-on team play.
Oh!
This roster here. Candy Panda wants more.
He wants to kill. Vardex just not going to give it to him. 2 summoners to escape, but the tower's gone. SK have turned the gas on.
Yeah, and this is the first time I've seen, well, not the first time, but the best I've seen SK work together as a team. Every time one of their members plays aggressive and oversteps their boundaries just ever so slightly, somebody's there, mainly Fox. He is driving this game, 8-1-2. Let's watch that again. Screen. It's in jungle. There's a duel. Chachi doing the top laner. Power Eagle comes in. The fact that he escapes is impressive feat on its own. He connects back. He doesn't go chasing to the equalizer. He knows Fox can finish it off. Watch the rocket, top right. This is so frustrating for Vardax. So low. If there were any wolves left, he would proc them. There's an animation on Arcane Shift. That animation wasn't quick enough. Julius, fancy footwork, but not quite enough.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying about SK, this is definitely the most coordinated we've seen them this split. And this is a scary thing for Unicorns. Remember, this is a team that's still right in the middle of the table, competing for playoff seeding, sitting on a lot of championship points, hoping to be able to secure their berth to Worlds after all said and done. You cannot let yourself get this far behind against this team. They've given SK everything they've wanted, and it looks like a comfortable game for them so far.
Yeah, playing Thresh into champions like this is so incredibly hard because every time you stand still to land the hook, you get poked.
And you get poked by a lot. Tower now going very low, going down to SK Gaming. Freddy playing well around that Narba right now. Unicorns are starting to have to respect that. Dragon's live again, but SK haven't really needed Dragon so much this game. They're going to keep on pushing in the bottom side.
Can they close? That is the million-dollar question right now for SK Gaming. We've seen them get leads at 10, at 20. Can they push it onwards? Can they close out?
Got some damage.
Will
True
they
shot
greed?
barrage. Rocket, not enough. Equalizer isn't. Neither is finally. He Valks right into the tip of the equalizer, and Chachi will finish off the elusive Corki, but Freddy's still putting pressure in the bottom, or in the mid, I should say. Unicorns have a member advantage, but it's only for 20 seconds.
Yeah, lapse in judgment. You can see SK peel back here. Chachi.
Might not last. He's still stunned. The hook's gonna come in. Chachi,
Walking to lantern.
he can't do it. He's taunted forever. And down he goes. Power of Evil took some damage on top of it. SK, they're just so far ahead. They've got this damage.
Meganar with the gains. Blocking that lantern. Impossible to click it. SK even out. They could peel back for a Dragon. Transition into a Baron play if they want to go safely, because obviously in this meta game, there's a decent amount of wave clear. Good amount of wave clear on Power of Evil. It kind of plays into SL. Pushing him in under the tower without being able to siege him down. This is what he wants. He wants time to scale, but moving away from that turret. Look at Dragon, look at Baron. It's SK's playground at this point. 16-3.
SK have done exactly what they needed to do. They neutralized these threats on Unicorns. The Ezreal, he's going to have a long path to scaling. Still waiting on some items. 0-1 and 2 at 20 minutes into this game. Just picks up a blue buff. Okay, sure, big whoop. Visit Chachi, 1 and 4. Still sitting on the Haunting Guys. Still sitting on the Seeker's Arm Guard. They're low in items. Even Vardax is not quite towards his static Shiv yet. They've been set so far behind that there's just so little that the Unicorns can do short of getting the perfect fight and snowballing off of Get Excited.
Yeah, they definitely need an Aegis as well against this poke coming out of Nidalee and Corki, and at the same time, even if they do, Fox's Shock Blast will still hurt. Double penetration is enough to do damage though, because everybody on the side of SK Gaming is itemizing very offensively, so the raw damage from Rumble is there. It hits level 11, a power spike. Now let's see how good is SK's vision control and their decision making around this Baron pit. I like that pink ward on the right side. They force Power of Evil to use this ultimate. This is where you move back in mid. Beautiful. Push in the wave again. Repeat. See Power of Evil, you have one ultimate every 40 seconds. Well, we can bait more than that.
Swinging the
Two
brush,
wards.
a little crowded.
He's scared. And
Lily
boom.
going forward, instantly flashing away. The rocket comes in, won't do nearly enough. SK Gaming like a horde of angry ants just popping out of the hill. And Unicorns are scattering the moment they see him.
Beautiful analogy right there. And this, well, honestly, was the perfect scenario for Unicorns. Their support face checks, but survives. Everybody chases into an equalizer, but it wasn't enough. Round 2.
And Chachi gonna burn his flash, won't be enough. Svenskeren manages to take him down. Unicorns again scattering the bait and engage. SK continue to repeat it. Down goes Gilius. He got a kick off, but that will not be enough. Might be Baron time.
And this is why it's better if you go for this very dominant map control style to buy pink wards instead of sweepers. Because then at least when teams move in their wards, sweepers go on cooldown. They're too slow, too long, but look at those pink wards. 1, 2, 3, and 4 pink wards on the side of SK Gaming. Complete vision control. Of course, Glove have no answer. All their Baron Steel tools are gone. Ezreal ulti, Jinx ulti, Rumble Equalizer, all gone.
Oh,
And
and
Hilly side-
Hilly, he goes pretty far forward, throws a box down. That'll mean no one from Unicorns are going to chase, or no one from SK is going to chase too far into that. But importantly, where was this SK?
SK
in the
was
last 7 weeks?
Yeah, thinking out of the box right there and really paying off. Honestly,
Also a good analogy.
this, thank you for noticing. SK Gaming, they were there. They were shade of this team. There were elements of it in their play, and they were constantly getting better, but call it throws, call it unfortunate plays, call it not so lucky. They lost a lot of dragons. They had gold leads and they didn't capitalize on them, but so far this is the cleanest I've seen them execute against a team that is very hard, honestly, still to play against Unicorns, but they're missing one of their key members.
I mean, Fox said it early in our video before the start of this one. He didn't think that Unicorns had that same magic. And right now, it's ringing true. Ilias has not brought that level to this team. They first picked this Lee Sin, and it's not been able to do much.
And 2 of his Qs got juked. However, this is his first game on the big stage. Still need to give him some time. A couple of weeks is all he has, though.
Oh, power. That is not good. 1 shock blast, 60% of his health. Freddy's on the bottom. They're pushing in 2 waves at once. Gilius trying to push back, but Freddy is stacking his Narbar. Meanwhile, the rest of SK is in the mid. Freddy manages to take it down. Gilius getting pushed back by the Boomerang. Vardax trying to turn him away, but they're not defending this. In comes the Big Gnar. Knocks Vardax, gets a stun into the shock blast. They take him down. Freddy is eating the lasers, but he's still tanking through it. It's like a bad monster movie, and they get 2 for 1 and an inhibitor on top.
But Freddy's build, look at it. He has Frozen Mallet. Usually you talk about whether they go Frozen Mallet or Black Cleaver or the defensive option. Freddy just goes all of them. He goes full on offense. Hillsang gets poked out. SK are looking to close out this game.
They might be able to do it here. We're not even 25 minutes in. This is going to be a big one now as SK Gaming will finish off the last Nexus turret, goes in for the taunt, blows up Hillsang, and now only Power's there to defend. He can't do it. 25 minutes in, SK Gaming with the win.
This is something we haven't seen in a while. Smiles on the faces of SK Gaming, Animated and Candy Panda. There was rumored to be some turmoil, but the team stuck together, and this is honestly, it seems to have made them tighter as a team, as a pack. They played very well together. Impressive performance by Animated on Shen. Everybody honestly carried their weight. Fox was the first one to move all the time, helped out Spencer, and he was the support to his jungler. Came in with the damage when Svensker needed it most, and honestly, if there's anything tells the tale how confident SK were in this game was the 2 Lee Sin Sonic Waves that they juked. They had flashes, but they opted not to use them. Well, Freddy didn't the first time, but they kept juking and outplaying, outmaneuvering the Unicorns, and it showed.
Sometimes things just click. SK Gaming, this entire game, all 5 of them, they may not have gotten Dragonfly, but they had the glow. And they made it happen. Unicorns debuting Gilius, it wasn't all on him, but they just did not have the magic this time around.
He had the opening to snowball the game, but it is very hard to play on stage after you've sat at home. Obviously still a very young player as well. A lot of eyes on him. He was at Worlds replacing Svenskeren for a bit, but that's been a while ago.
And it does go back to those lanes. You said it earlier, they picked losing matchups. There's not much your jungler can do if 3 lanes at once need help. I mean, we're talking about this, you go out to Elements earlier on in the split, the same exact problem that they had, and the Unicorns found that out this time to their peril.
Definitely so. Like, this goes back to the drafting phase as well. Whether it was just not seen, whether it was misplay, some of these lanes were wishy-washy in terms of who ends up pushing. If Unicorns opted to really go hard level 1 on the bot lane, they could have maybe pushed out, you know, with that Jinx. But once you start getting pushed in that bot lane matchup, you will never change it yourself. So you need help. Obviously, Fox immediately putting on the pressure on Power of Evil, and then Freddy won that lane top, and then it becomes incredibly hard to play because Svenskeren has the liberty to choose where he goes. So Svenskeren has 4 quadrants he can choose to use. Gilius only has 2, and he always has the risk of running into an enemy jungler. At one point, he was doing his Grump while Svenskeren had smited away the little white from Wolf, so he's in his own jungling in full vision, and it's such a hard mindset to be in.
Yeah, well, if my math's correct, that's definitely always an advantage to SK, and they definitely were able to ride it all the way to a victory. Now, we're going to send it over to Pulse on stage, where he's going to have a word with SK with their dominant win over Unicorns.
Thank you, Pyra. I'm here to talk with Candy Panda after his win after that game. Now, that was a complete dissection of the Unicorns. I'm not sure what the Unicorns look on the inside, but you guys certainly found them. How were you able to exploit them so hard in that early game and throughout the whole game?
Yeah, so this week we had a lot of problems externally, so we didn't have much time to scrim, so our game plan was just pick strong lanes, because that's like the easiest strategy.